Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Farthest Frontier. This city's a little unfamiliar, isn't it? If you haven't been subscribed to the series or the channel, or if you've been missing out on our live streams, this is the city of Lake Raptoria, played on the hardest difficulty, and it is gorgeous. This is kind of a template that I'm using for the other city I'll show you a little later today, but I just wanted to show off some of the things that's possible later in the game, and some of the lessons that are being learned by playing this map going into the one that you're watching currently, New Raptoria. We have ourselves another theater here being constructed in this northern neighborhood. One thing that I found out about the theaters just recently too is that they seem to affect 40 houses. So if you have a population of, well, like we do here, 390, I guess the reason this is overpopulated is because some of the houses have downgraded or are threatening to do so. You can see all the different buildings here with their different capacities. Like, for example, this home holding 6 people, this one holding 5, and the lower tier house is only holding like 4, for example. So goes great for your designs to make sure that you've allowed for plenty of space and plenty of materials to be dedicated to buildings such as the theater in order to act as not only a building for desirability, but also entertainment. You can see there that entertainment's only at 56%, so we need more capacity. So there's a theater down here. This is like the tier 2 theater. This is the tier 1 theater being built up there. So it applies for 40 homes each, so that might change how we lay things out in the future of New Raptoria. Even with all these beautiful decorations of statues and trees and massive amounts of markets and trees that are decorative with wells upgraded. Yeah, it only appeals for, wow, 75%. So we're going to need to get our happiness up even more, our desirability up even more. But this town's also starting to get stone walls, and it's been almost 50 years. And it's taken about 2 years or so to build the walls. So thank God that we built the towers, because otherwise waiting for the walls to be built would leave massive gaps in the city. And also this fence does actually work to slow down enemies and buys us time, even though it's just some crappy fence. Check that out. They've destroyed the gates and such before, but yeah, it actually proves quite useful to slow down the enemies. Multiple charcoal kilns burning in the southern part. Yeah, this wall taking an incredible amount of time, even when we have 467 people and we have a workforce of 54. This town is doing as quickly as it can the upgrades to the stone wall, and it's still taking many years to bring over all the materials and such. We actually have a wagon nearby. There's a small little oxen that we utilized down here. We brought it down to this area to indicate to all the people to start mining stone and trees and things like that. So they've been bringing it back to this little storage cart. So what we can do is we can try to park the storage cart up near by the walls. But the only thing that's going to make them construct the wall faster is by clicking each and every one of these little squares and increasing the prioritization. We can't use the wall option here to select the wall and then tell it to take a higher level of prioritization. So it's still going to take a very, very long time. It's probably going to take like 3 years just to do that southern section, another 6 to do this section. And good idea to do things in sections, because if we destroy this wall or upgrade it, it's going to be a gap in order to upgrade. There's like our tier 2 barracks and a few other things that we're planning to do in Lake Raptoria. So we'll get on that just shortly. But I just wanted to show off all the things that are possible and what's going to inspire the current city of New Raptoria as we construct it. Oh, wow. Look at all those compost sites. Glassmaker. Actually, putting a few walls around some industrial buildings looks nice too. This provides absolutely nothing in terms of desirability or whatnot, but this could actually, it works against invaders, so it kind of serves as a little bit of a defense against a direct attack. And it also, well, might actually make enemy troops go a different way, because if they wanted to run through here and it takes some time, the AI is programmed to take the shorter, faster route. So they'll probably go straight for the towers here rather than bothering the industrial sector. So this is your tier 1 fence here. And there's your tier 2 fence, and then of course palisades, which can go as defenses, and then also stone walls, which we're building over in the eastern side. So pretty amazing, to be honest. So yeah, quite a few upgrades to be done here in the future. We have a secondary graveyard. This graveyard here already filled with 27 out of 80, and a graveyard here already full at 64 out of 64. We've got ourselves a few people dying a year as well due to, you know, old age and whatnot, and a few from disease, even though we have a medical hospital and we have ourselves a apothecary. We're making a lot of medicines and such, but accidents still do happen. Pretty amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to show this off and show everybody what will go to inspire our city of New RAPTORIA. Yep, tier 2 barns. Same technique with the blueberry bushes. Cows heading in for the winter. Oh wow, look at the barn actually nicely. Wow, they actually painted the barn? That's gorgeous. What lovely detail in this game. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And look at all those farm fields too, with room for more on the other side. And this is for a population of almost 400. You can see all the crazy crop rotation and things going on here. This is crazy. Roads going out into the forest. Trees still being cut. Great tactic I want to try to use for today's episode as well is finding out that there might not be a forestry building in the game, but that's because trees grow back very quickly on their own. So one thing we can do to bypass that is using this work camp building. What we can do is assign a person to the work camp, and we can have them work here continuously, cutting down mature trees only and setting their ratio to only cutting down trees. So that way, anytime a tree within this area is ready to be harvested, they'll cut it down, ignoring all the newer trees. Good idea to put it in a thicker forest, or to have multiple of these, shut down one, and kind of have, you know, them work every other couple of years to give the trees time to grow back. So you could have this one open for 3 or 4 years, and then have a different one open for 3 or 4 years, and then just change them out time after time. Like, for example, up here would be another perfect spot for that. We're going to need all that wood. We need all those planks for that theater that we're building over here, so we'll kind of wait for that to be constructed. We're only down to 30, and look at this. We've got 2 full-time sawmills pumping away nonstop. Incredible. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Looks so good. Oh, more carts coming in. Now these alerts here are showing that the desirability will soon make these homes abandoned, so we want to try to finish the theater as quickly as possible, so that way the desirability will reach the middle of the city, kind of closer to here where our trade center is. This is the tier 4 town hall. This is the highest we can go at the moment. We can't build any tier 4 buildings. Biggest we can build is tier 3 buildings, but the homes can also be tier 4, so this is kind of what the tier 4 structures will look like, is kind of more of a painted white brick. Looking really gorgeous. A high-end home that provides shelter from the elements. Yeah. And you can see here that these people will buy more luxury goods such as pottery and candles and, if you can believe it, soap. Also spices. You can buy spices from Masuk the Silver-Tongue, the trader from the faraway lands, and he will trade you spice, and the spice can be sold back to your people for a very good price as well. We're also making a ton of money here in the city. Yeah. 6,527 with almost 4,000 in the bank up here. It's mostly because we have a gold mine nearby, and we're making gold ingots out of all that, which is serving to be wonderful. Wow. Oh, snow coming in. And we have over 2,000 firewood, which seems insane, and it is. But remember, a lot of this is going to charcoal, and a lot of that is going to go to these homes, especially if there's a blizzard. That could wipe out our storage, so a good idea to have a ton of that on standby just in case. Multiple parks designed. We've got a well here that's always out of water for whatever reason, I'm not sure. There's all these other wells nearby. But that one seems to be a popular hangout for whatever reason. Building storage is full for root cellars. Wow, 15 months of food stored up. Look at that. Insane. 179 fish, 1,200 smoked meat. That's great. All the cows that we have being slaughtered. 400 bread, 2,800 vegetables, root vegetables, greens and preserved vegetables. Then, of course, berries and nuts, but the berries are immediately going into preserves. And we have 346 fruits, too. We got to get our preservist cooking even more. One of the slowdowns and problems in the city right now is that we don't have any sand. Or we do have sand, but it's getting further and further away, so it's getting harder and harder to mine ourselves. And so we're relying more and more on imports, but it goes quickly in order to make all that glassware. So we need some sort of a more reliable source of sand. I would say that's probably going to be your biggest slowdown in the game is sand and also stone. Those are going to be two big problems. Yeah, definitely. All right, so some of these homes are abandoned now. It takes a little while for that theater to come up. Now, the worst-case scenario with these homes being abandoned is that it's unfortunate. Nobody will go into these homes again. I haven't seen people move in, that type of thing. I think they should be able to, though. When a home becomes abandoned, I think it's still reclaimable before the home then becomes condemned. If a home is abandoned for too long, it'll change its status to condemned, and then I think you have to then delete it and rebuild it and go through all the upgrade process again, which could be expensive for materials, but I think there should be some sort of way. Yeah, here it says this home has become abandoned. It would be nice if a home was able to downgrade. Downgrading is not really a thing here in this game. There's not a way for buildings to be downgraded. You can move it, though. Of course, if these buildings, for example, were about to be abandoned, we could have moved them maybe somewhere where there was a little higher desirability, although we're pretty much out of room. But, yeah, this is just showing demonstration purposes for all that. Oh, a few homes up here, too. So, yeah, when we play this for our live streams, we're definitely going to have to put in a lot more effort towards making sure that these homes don't become abandoned, because we want all the extra space for people to live. That's why we were trying to get all these homes upgraded, so that way instead of building more homes and going through more materials to upgrade them from Tier 1 to Tier 2, 3 to 4, you know, that kind of thing, it's just easier to upgrade all the homes that already exist, rather than building new ones and getting them to upgrade and building the supporting buildings for them. So we'll have to make sure that we absolutely speed up our time. I can't believe it. 12 people working in planks. But let's see the theater get built. The Tier 1. We've seen it before, but I want to see it again here. And see what that does, and then we'll go to New Raptoria after leaving Lake Raptoria. Man, that snow is beautiful. Oh, dysentery. Oh, boy. Well, there it is. Okay, so we've got our theater back. I think it'll take a little while before desirability jumps back up again. Let's take a look at G. Desirability here in these abandoned buildings is now 82. I believe they require a minimum of perhaps 85. Interesting that there used to be a park here, so interestingly that removing that affected those buildings all the way over here. So yeah, even buildings all the way over here were affected. Strange. All right, let's go to New Raptoria. Anyway, I just wanted to be here for a little while because it's a gorgeous city. And it is time to go to New Raptoria. Hope you enjoyed this one. Watch the live stream, subscribe. Let's get back over to the other city. Here we go. All right, here we are, back at home in good old New Raptoria. All right, let's go ahead and check our traders. What do we got here? 33 days. Not too much we want to trade here. Now, at this point, because of our lessons learned in the other map, we definitely want to continue to buy stone and maybe bricks anytime we see them, although pretty sure the current number that we've got is okay. We don't have much money anyway, so let's sell some soap here to the peddler. We'll sell about half of that, and then that should be just fine. We'll keep an eye on that. 335 stones, good for some big O building upgrades as soon as we can. Oh, looks like a couple things went bad there at the market, not too bad. Alright, so we're going to continue to make space for more people to move in, so these areas will, of course, be filled with homes, so we at least have a good area for expansion, and look at that. Alright, 8 people wanting to move in, perfect. Alright, we're close to our maximum capacity again. This guy's not buying soap for too much money anyway, so I think we're going to go ahead and just call that good on the trades for the moment. Alright, well, with the addition of a few more people, let's go ahead and make a few more parks. I think what we'll do is perhaps leave an area here for more parks. And then maybe build some more along the water. Although we could always put in an occasional building like a well or a park or something here. It looks like that's blocked. But now we've got 30 raiders. Oh boy. Alright, so we know our towers are incredibly effective. We know our crossbows are incredibly effective. We've got a couple of people assigned to each of these, so this shouldn't be too much trouble. Not until we get to year 50 or so that'll really be a problem where they start making demands. They'll show up and actually give you an ultimatum of pay us this much money or your city will fall. And they get quite powerful, although most of the raiders are not, you know, as powerful as the main ones. Most of them are just kind of little thieves that cause trouble. Let's get that rebuilt. Now we'll get our weapons up and running again and start to make better weapons so we can fight them in the streets as soon as we've got a barracks up. The towers are good enough for now. And let's go ahead and sound the alarm on the town hall. We can get people shooting arrows from the town hall. There we go. Look at that. Crossfire in all directions. Very nice. Alright, so our goal is hopefully that Plains Rider will show up. Hopefully there's more wagons and stuff coming in. And see if we can buy some cows. We'll need a little bit more money for that, so if we don't catch them this year, which it seems like all the traders are gone for the year, we'll probably catch them next year. Yeah, look at those crazy ranges on the arrows. Doesn't look like they were able to get much. Now they got to get past one of the last towers over here somewhere. Oh yeah, that one's still shooting at those guys. Nice. Cause enough damage, and if it takes them too long to get into your city, they flee. Money well spent on those towers, bro. That's weird. This guy's got like a red health. Oh, it's because he's empty. I was like, why does this guy have a red health bar? He barely had any health left. Alright, so we're at 176 out of 182. We're building another home. We could probably build another home here. But again, I'm going to use a lot of this space for the upgrades for the decorations and such. So parks and things like that, we'll save the space here for another park. And probably here too, and then we'll build more homes behind. It'll definitely pay off, especially when we get to some of those higher tiers. We end up deleting more homes for upgrades than we do actually building more homes, or at least it's a wiser idea. Goodbye. Alright, so there goes the last of the traders. Pretty sure they're out of town now. Get out of town. Alright, let's check our farm fields. And we'll upgrade the rest of this, I think, over to the cellar. Right there. There they go. Boy, look at how... Oh, they just despawned. I was going to say, why don't you take the road? Alright. Oh, no, they took smoked meat. What are we going to do? Oh, no. They wanted our jerky. Those jerks. Well, better yet than building a barracks at this moment would be to upgrade our towers and eventually complete the wall going around the camp. So let's finish that up. And I think we will end it right here. Is there some, oh, there's a portion being built there. And we may move these towers around. That way we can put them up against the wall then. However, these are really good spots to build these towers. We can defend the town hall, we can defend the storehouse, and they could have good enough range to actually get close to the thing here. Yeah, we got a lot of these buildings occupied, so I think we're paying good money on that defense. Alright. Another house going up. Good. Okay, so next year we'll do all of the farming in anticipation of Plains Rider. We're still having the farmers work on the field down here, so we haven't assigned crops yet. That way they can work on clearing those fields there. All of them, without being distracted. Good stuff. Oh man, look at all those nice decorations and such. We could upgrade this building. No need though, but it would kind of stop them from robbing things as easily. Although I don't think they're going to go for the storehouse. They're going to go for the, not the stockyard, but the storehouse where the more manufactured goods are being stored. Bushes and such are still coming over. I feel like a lot of those were out in wolf territory and they stopped trying. More bricks coming in. No wood at all. But I can hear trees being chopped. Oh yeah, there they are. Let's back up some of the trees from the wall. Yep, good clearing here for trees. This will definitely make our camp a lot safer. Oh yeah, plenty of trees being ordered to be cut down. Of course, giving us good line of sight around the wall gives the towers the ability to shoot back. Oh, looks like we got ourselves... Of course. Of course. I loaded from the previous save to this save, and now all the water's gone. This is still a pretty funny glitch that happens when you reload. So all of our lakes are gone at the moment. Well, that one is, and these are like receding shoreline. Which the weird thing that happens here is that it stops fish from being produced because the game kind of doesn't load the lakes in. Unless you're specifically assigned to one of these spawn points, so that'll be fun. But anyway, we could turn these workers off, but if we reload things, we'll be alright. That'll be buffed out by the time of release. Developers have made it clear they're aware of that, and all the optimization issues too. Good to have a cruise on top of things, that's for sure. I just wish we could get a more updated version, but they're working on the main one. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were going to upgrade this road too. Delete it to straighten it out. Let's do that. Looks like we need to do it this way. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Oh, we can actually make it go to the end of the street. Wow, look at all those fall colors. Gorgeous. Alright, so we're gobbling up logs right away. I would say we could probably stop plank production, but I don't really think it's a good idea yet. Let's go ahead and shut this building off. We still need to continue to make planks and firewood, so we got to up our wood production. And I don't want to cut down any of the trees in the town. It seems like in both town designs, I've incorporated some wild trees to kind of separate the town from the farm fields, which is nice because the farm fields are super close, as they should be. You know, where the root cellars can also be close. A lot less time spent walking. Which in some of these industries, you can actually see how much time they spend walking rather than doing the job. Like if we look at, for example, the bakery, yeah, you can see the travel time. Excessive time is spent traveling from place to place. Can cause inefficiencies, etc. So we can, yeah, like as they mentioned, we can keep water and things like that a little closer to increase the time there. Most of their time is spent idle, and I'm assuming that's just because they're out of flour. Looks like there's a little bit, but yeah, they're recommending like, hey, build a well nearby maybe so they don't have to walk so far for that. And you don't have to have every building be super 100% efficient. In this case, we've got the well literally across the street, so I don't think it's going to get any better than that. Alright, now we should be making weapons at the blacksmith. Yep, so we're making weapons now for our guards. Now keep in mind this game has two classifications for your military. Your guards, who come automatically in all the towers, who typically don't leave the towers, but can on occasion if the enemy gets close, and they'll melee attack them. And so your guards in the towers will come with a, crossbow or a bow, and then also a sword. And then your soldiers, who you can command in the barracks. Troops inside the towers you can't really command, but you want them in those towers for that long range. And what's great about these towers, too, is because when the invaders hit the streets, they sprint, like full speed to your buildings and such. And so rather than chasing them around Benny Hill style with the barracks and such, the troops in the barracks, the soldiers, which, of course, they can also get crossbows and whatnot, the towers are just able to get that better range, and they get that hit bonus for having the elevation. So you could have your troops all have crossbows and things like that, but remember they don't get that bonus that the towers do. And if they attack the tower, then you get the bonus of them stopping to attack a building while the other buildings attack them. The other towers are shooting back at them, so that's good. Alright, food will go up here. Wow. Oh, look at the leaves. It never gets old, that seasonal transition like that. There needs to be a mod to make it constantly autumn like this. This game is ridiculous. One thing I am hoping more for, it would be a great photo mode where you could zoom in and actually see a skybox similar to Anno. Some were asking about a first-person mode, but I'd also like to be able to zoom out a little further. Okay. Well, we've got our farm ready to go, and in fact, it can be upgraded. So we're going to work on cattle, I think, before we move our orchard. It is a plan to move the orchard and redo the fields here. So this area, consider that already gone. It's just going to be limping by for the next year as we upgrade now to the new plan, which is, of course, getting some of our crops here ready for big production. So our soil here is a little more clay-like, so cabbage will definitely like that. So let's go for rock removal and then a couple of years of... couple rotations. We'll just go with cabbage for the first couple of years in a row. And let's check our flax. We have none. We're not really making clothing. So let's do that. How does flax respond? Flax wants a little sandier soil, so we can import some of that. But just like with the other cities, sand is getting really hard to come by. But we can always import it, and this town will use a lot less of it. So let's go with cabbage and flax in the top two. Let's go with wheat. That likes a little more clay. A little bit. And we'll mix this up a little bit. We'll go with all wheat. We'll do one crop each so we can kind of monitor. We know we've got, well, the flax doesn't really count, but let's do a root vegetable. Let's actually do a couple. Let's do maintenance and then turnips and carrots. And then we'll actually do a little buffer there. Let's do leeks. Wow, they take a long time. They produce a lot. Then let's do these and... let's go with peas and beans. Yeah, no. Alright, then it's going to be a little bit of space here for... Oh boy. Let's do a maintenance year on this one completely. And then we'll do beans and peas, maintenance, and turnips again. We can do a double. Nice. Alright. We'll modify the soil and such when we have a little bit extra. We need to wait, make sure we've got a little bit more sand. Clay is okay though. This soil seems a little more clay. Yeah, it's a little more clay, isn't it? Yep. Oh boy. We got a fire at the old sawmill. Alright, so we're hoping for a quick winter so we can get through to Anders Plain Rider and get those cows and get all those crops going. So we'll wait for the crops to come in the spring. We'll kind of limp along with this farm up there. That'll be redone. The fire is out. Let's see. Could add some more decorations, but, well, we certainly don't want to use any more wood. We did build one house while we were a little struggling with wood, but 30 is okay for this town. How are we doing on that workforce? 27, almost 30 people on just cutting down trees and such. We definitely should consider a work camp here. And I think what we'll do is we will probably put it over here. Oh, it looks like they destroyed that stockyard. It'd be perfect to have a work camp over here cutting down trees. Let's build that for the next year too. Great spot for it. Great spot. Of course, I didn't want to build a work camp while we were... Yeah, it takes 20 wood anyway, so while you need wood, it takes wood too. And we'll put it over here. If we need more, we'll build a second one next to it. Assign one person to each, just so we can get 2 different coverage areas. And then as we need to, we'll turn them on and off. Wow. Look at all that activity. People are moving. Yes, a lot of materials going towards the fence construction, too. I forget how much of that is incomplete, but most of it is complete. Whole eastern side is good. Northern side is good. Western side almost done. And the southern side, we have more to do, but the tower there, I think, is enough to stop it. Oh, yeah. We have a plan for an orchard here, too. I'd forgotten. Well, now what we could do is actually plant apples down here. And maybe move this building. This is kind of a little narrow point there. But maybe we could move the the compost a little bit more outside of town. But, of course, if we build the field and need to move the orchard, the arborist building, the orchard doesn't get destroyed, so this will be a good temporary start. Let's go ahead and start with apples. It'll take a few years for these to grow. And the orchard here might give cover to attacking enemies, but if we move the tower that we see on the screen to the southeast side down here, and one over to the southwest side there, we could build 2 small little gates with the lake as a natural fortification. Enemies can't cross water, so makes sense. Oh, I'll have to move that one. Alright, so all apple trees here. And this will be a good preparation for the preservation building shortly. just need sand. Okay, very good. Alright, so we'll have a couple of construction crews come out to work on those. The arborist doesn't do it himself. Looks like we're starting to get rats. About time we build a rat catcher. Plop that down there too. A little spendy in the materials, but definitely worth it. A couple of areas with rats. Better build 2. When you start to get rats, you'll probably have them in multiple places because you spread your town out for all of the markets, and you also build the root cellars near the near your farms and such. So, good idea to get rid of those rats ASAP. Ooh, we got somebody here who does not have winter clothes. Wait a minute, they do. Villagers exposed to the elements provide shelter and firewood to keep them warm. Well, they should have housing. We have housing for 189. They do have a hide coat, which is good for winter weather. Waiting for command. Well, if I don't select her for a moment, she might go to her workplace. There should be no reason for that person to die. We have firewood, 38. I think she was going to try to go to the tower to shelter. She may now die because I stopped her, my bad. There should be no reason for that, though. She's got a hide coat from the tannery, which prevents hypothermia. Yeah, there should be no reason for that. We have firewood in storage, and homes have firewood. There's no indication of any home not having firewood. Ensure all dwellings are supplied with firewood. They are, otherwise there'd be an indicator. That the villagers have warm clothing and coats. She did, linen and hide. And that they're not forced to travel too long distances in cold weather. She must have been waiting outside her house for a long time, and then when the building was completed, then started to go there? I guess that was it. She was outside for too long due to pathing? I don't know. It happens. Oh well. Weird things will probably happen between loading one save and another. At least we're going to take care of those rats. And luckily with no grain, that won't be a problem over there. Alright, so now come spring, we will have the farms ready. We'll have the granary ready. It's all good. Alright, a few more pieces of wood there needed for those buildings. Boy, yeah. I thought I was making too much planks, but I knew better. In the back of my mind, I was like, no, no, no. You'll need more than that. And now we're up to 149. And that's going to go down by 60 because of the 2 buildings here that require 40, and then we built a couple of those towers. Rebuilt a couple of those towers. We want to upgrade towers, though. We need stone and iron, yeah. We're not making enough iron. Put a couple more people there. Alright, so we're going to put a few more people on the iron mine. That'll bring us to 25. That's good. Okay, so we definitely don't want to go below that. Would prefer 30, though, people as laborers to cut down all those trees for the walls. Gonna add a statue for decoration over here. It's gonna take all of our iron, but we should be producing more now with the increased iron ore mining. Yeah, that's our problem. We didn't have enough iron ore. So we'll make more of that now. Alright, and finally a spring season. That means traders. Come on, Plains Rider. Let's go, baby. Come on in. Gotta take care of them rats. Okay, we have a month of food. The forger should do quite nicely this year. I feel like we should put a few more outside of town in those industrial areas, but we'll do good for putting one maybe by the gates and the barns and things like that outside of town. Alright, here comes our traders. Keep an eye on that trade center now. Taxes collected, food stocks, of course, are always low in the spring. That's the same with Dawn of Man and many other games where, of course, you eat food throughout all the winter, and then once spring has sprung, all the workforce goes immediately towards farming and foraging, and you have no food, except until you get things like... well, Dawn of Man has, I think, lentils and a few other things like that. This game has the beans and peas, which we do see in that game as well, so... a very good early farming crop, of course. Where's that wagon? Ah, there it is. Alright, here comes the lightning. Let's see if it hits a building. At a closer inspection of these wagons, too, you can almost see who's actually driving them. I believe this will be... the person on the wagon actually matches the portrait in most cases. This should be that one guy who wears the armor and has the sword. I always forget his name, but typically I never have anything to trade with that guy because he's usually... I think his nation is in a war and has been in for a long time, so he's either... buying a lot of things that we don't make until later, like weapons and whatnot. Or he's selling something like that. I think he's buying iron and weapons, but we'll see. Here he comes. Haha, I was right. Lethos of Cardell, that's his name. Yeah, he's got the armor on, he's like carrying a sword. So yeah, this guy wants to sell weapons. Okay, so he's like an arms dealer. I always think of him just kind of at war, though. It's the opposite of what I mentioned. But he's buying candles, glass, and medicine. And then he's selling like tools, weapons. Iron would actually be good. We're completely broke, though. Unfortunately... oh, though, this is great. If we could sell heavy tools to Masuk the Silver Tongue, then we'll be good. Oh, we got a lot of pottery here. If our lady friend from wherever comes in, we'll be good. Not too much here I want to trade at the moment. We got a little bit of cash, about 1,000. Not bad. And of course now we're paying more and more fees for towers and rats. Of course. Alright, let's get that other rat catcher going. And we'll have to kind of move it again. We'll have to move the work zone on it a few times. Ah, the peddler. Good. And he's buying soap. Let's go ahead and transfer 30 of that. He's buying hide clothing for a good price. Let's trade 75 on that. He's also selling clay. We need that. So hides and soap. Don't really want to sell pelts. That could be turned, of course, into coats or shoes. We have a good amount of clay. Ah. Wildlife still getting in through the, well, probably the south. Yeah, it's going to be a big problem. Let's see. I think we'll set up a hunter down here to protect the fields. It's going to be a good thing, I think, here. We'll assign them to those crop fields. Wow. Well, that's okay. We mostly want the grain. And allowing those animals to eat might possibly get their numbers back up. And, of course, we'll have a better food source until we've got ourselves some cattle, which can make an incredible amount of smoked meat. If we get those cattle going and build like a couple more smokers, one slaughter of one cow equals 500 meat. Some of that will be eaten by the summer months or whatnot, or by the with it being fresh whenever it's the slaughter's taken. In this case, if we slaughtered it now, it'd be eaten by the summer. But okay, I think we're ready to I think we're ready with the peddler now. We can actually trade with him. So we got a bunch of these ready to go. Soap 2. Alright, good. Now we got some cash. Alright, I'll buy the rest of your clay, sir. That should be it. Alright, well, we still need cows, but we are ready for them. That's going to be big. Once we get the cows, too, another great thing is that they make a good amount of pelts. And pelts, of course, are used for a lot of the weapon making. Iron is important, but a lot of it needs padding from all of the animals and such that we'll eventually slaughter. So you're going to be kind of merciless there in that field for this year. But luckily, we got a fence up. We've got a hunter up. And then we'll get our orchard and such up here, too. Great thing is, if we move that orchard, we'll get a lot of extra wood for cutting all that down. So that's going to be good. And then let's check iron real quick. Ooh, we really want more people in the city. We shouldn't build anything else. We got to wait. This is kind of the part of the game where anytime you build something new, you know, it has like 3 or 4 slots. So, you know, and you'll get like 8 people at a time. And most people you want to put into farming. So, well, we got plenty of food. And iron is starting to come back in. So, just need the people to be dedicated to farming, mining, and smelting to speed up some of our weapon production and our farming. Luckily, we'll get our hunting tent up there. Rat problem should be taken care of right now. And hopefully we'll see another trader. If not, we'd still got a couple thousand in the bank, though. Or at least close. So it's going to be random on the peddler, or rather, plains rider. The peddler here now, the plains rider. It'll be random whether or not he comes in this year. It'll be random whether or not he trades the cows with us. That might be it for the spring season, but we're ready for it. So I think what we'll do is the next time I see you, so we don't have to wait any further, we will get ourselves some cows. So I will see you all in the next episode when we will finally have Anders Plains Rider here. Make a few changes to the town, decoration-wise and whatnot, but not until we get cows can we take the next big step into making a bigger military for all the leather it'll take to give all of our troops swords. Well, swords are iron, but shields and armor. So they'll have to have wearable armor and shields that they can hold, of course, and then all that extra meat. So we don't have to worry so much about hunting. We can focus more on internally working on crop rotation and whatnot. All right, I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Take care and have a good one. And make sure you subscribe so you can watch more of those awesome live streams. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.